Hi there. This is a message for the Gemini collective regarding unfinished love stories that they may have within their own lives. Now, keep in mind, this is a collective reading, and I purposefully am recording this around the start of the final Mercury Retrograde season of 2025. And we all know that towards the end of any calendar year, people start really processing over, like birthdays. Birthdays are another big one, when you start processing your past, your current, your future, you know? You think about the people that you've come across, things that were left unsaid, unfinished. Maybe you can't get this person out of your mind. Maybe you can't sleep at night. Maybe you find yourself waking up between the hours of 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. and you're not sure why. So, tuning into those who are in situations like that. Gemini. And I'm going to do all the signs. So if you're a cross watcher and I haven't done your sign yet, these take quite a bit out of me. I try very hard to channel as much as I can. Like, don't ask me the process. it's too nitty gritty and very personal. So maybe someday I'll share it. All right, Spirit. Let's see. What's the situation for Gemini who are in these types of complicated relationships or separations? What's the situation? Let's find out. If this doesn't resonate with you, then please do not let my message take away from your real life experience. And always remember, you have free will. So there may be, I've actually never gotten this card before in this deck, but at the back of the deck you have, it's not focusing. Oh, how irritating. Twin flames. Oh, actually, it's not focusing. It's not focused on the card itself. So, of course it's not. So, a twin flame connection that has apparently brought you a lot of anxiety and exactly what I said. Sleepless nights, feelings of being threatened, and yet you cannot tune out of that frequency. You guys are contemplating meeting up with this person or proposing a meeting with them. All right, here we go. Of course, I asked for it. So, Spirit, let's get a little bit more in depth on what Gemini is feeling about this potential twin flame or a very deep soulmate connection. Yeah, you're seeing a lot of synchronicities that remind you of them. This is the angel numbers and symbols card. So maybe you're apart, but also seeing songs, I don't know, cars, numbers, animals, things that just remind you of that connection, of that person. That is likely the universe trying to send you a message about them. Maybe they or you have recently had a glow up focusing on your physical state. You're going to the gym a lot, or they're going to the gym a lot, or they just look great to you. Now that you can have them, maybe they just look great to you. Now, we're also getting the deceit card. So somebody is wearing a mask in this relationship. I don't know. I don't know if it's you or them. But oftentimes, I will say, I'm just going to try to clarify that. Oftentimes in these twin flame relationships or soul ties that don't let go, soul contracts that are very tight and purposeful, one person, often the divine masculine, regardless of gender, by the way, wears a mask, avoids, doesn't quite get awakened quite as fast. Now, let's see. Spirit, what is Gemini's energy? Let's use a different deck. What is Gemini's energy towards the person on their mind, Spirit? The Lovers. Of course it is. Of course it is. You are fully aware that this is a tie that just cannot let go. But look at the fact that there's like a snake. Now, snakes are representative of many things, right? Including knowledge and cycles. There's a snake wrapped around one hand and there's nature wrapped around another hand. So perhaps one of you is more mystical, tied to nature, and the other is more in the mental space. But overall, this is a relationship, and you know it on some level, that's guided by the angelic realm, the divine realm. As you can see, there's an angel, usually Archangel Michael, that heralds the connection, protects the connection, brings you together, pulls you apart, brings you back together, that kind of thing. You also see them as your 10 of Pentacles. Someone, and you see, like, look how your third eye is fully open to this connection. This card is showing not only the stars, the pentacles, right? It's showing, it's beautiful, actually. It's beautiful and also kind of terrifying. The eye is like bloodshot a little bit. And there are tears. There are tears through some of these pentacles. They could also be pools of water reflecting the mirror-like nature that a twin flame connection brings forth. All right, and the beach or a blue eyes might be symbolic. Now, let's see, what else are you feeling? All right, the Hanged Man. So this connection is currently in limbo, trying to get perspective. And there's that snake imagery again. I can't get over it. I can't get over that. So the snake again, I mean, I'm not trying to get pagan on you, but it often represents awakening to wisdom that was before held back from you. You're blindfolded. I don't know. I'm just getting this image of someone with a blindfold on. Blindfold is coming off. Now, let's see. How does the person on your mind, Gemini, feel about you at this time? I cannot believe I've been talking for 7 minutes and I feel like I've said almost nothing. They see you as someone who is extremely successful in the material realm. Maybe this is like representative, if you were to talk about tarot, of the 9 of Pentacles. Single, sexy, successful in your own right, but you're taking quite a few hits in life. That's very interesting. Let's clarify that. Spirit, can you show us if Gemini is with their person or not? I instinctively feel that you are not. But okay, so I have imprisonment and endings coming out reversed. So to me that means you were held away apart from each other, but you might that like period, that hangman period is coming to an end. Thus the meeting card from earlier. The veil has been lifted, ascending, faith, and the community cards, trusted. All right, so this is pointing to the fact that one or both of you trust one another deeply, or that someone who is kind of like in a trusted position. So whether it's divine guidance, ancestors, family members, friends, they are giving a blessing to your relationship. I say that because we have multiple cards indicating such. You have the community card, the faith card coming upright, the ascending card also coming upright, and the veil being lifted. So someone who before had that mask on is beginning to see clearly what this connection is. So these other cards clarified by that indicate that your relationship that was once held in prison, kind of behind bars, you know, like withheld from you. You were kept apart and you felt that things had ended. That it's reversed means this is a second chance. This is a second chance. And they see it that way. They see it that way. Now, I don't know if you see it that way, but they do. How do you feel about your person, the person on your mind, Gemini? How do you feel? Wow, very similar cards. But then you have another card. Conflict. Clarified by community and ascending. So you're kind of torn. You're kind of torn. I think you're, yeah. And not only that, you feel this card poverty. So help, like you're feeling helpless. You feel like left out in the cold, maybe. You feel like they abandoned you. In truth, that may not be the case. Again, twin flame connections go through periods of separation so that both of you may grow. That's why you're feeling this conflict. Or the conflict is coming within your own community. Maybe you are having a hard time balancing your life and that relationship. However, overall, you do see this person as someone who is spiritually ascending and maybe could help you spiritually ascend too, out of that poverty mentality. As I split the deck, it's just funny because I put the card poverty back in and I get healers. So maybe you see this person as a healer, having healing energy. Let's switch decks, guys. I have so many decks for you today. I just, you know, Gemini readings, a lot of people give you a hard time. I know that. But I was ready. I was like, I don't know how many decks I have out. 1, 2, 3 pre-shuffled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 pre-shuffled decks. Just in case. Okay. So, all right. Spirit, will Gemini's person of interest be making a move towards them this Mercury retrograde season or in the near future? It's such a twin flamey kind of answer, guys. Justice. All right. I kind of love it. You got the Wheel of Fortune and Justice, Lady Justice at the back of the deck. She is indeed blinded here. So Spirit is in the process of weighing things out. This is saying it's out of your hands. This is also saying that what's out of your hands is karmic justice. So what happens in the future is not determined upon free will as much as it is, well, have you both grown? Have you both learned? We're not sure yet. So we're weighing things out. If we see, I don't know, what is this? Oh, it's a head. That's beautiful, actually. If you see this card, she is weighing the head versus the heart. And again, there's that snake. You know, since I've come back from Peru, I've become a lot more mindful of the symbols and the images that I see in the card decks that I've used. This is a newer card deck. And here it's clear. This wisdom the snake is bringing, right? That is for both of you. That is something that you have both developed as a result of this connection. Without it, you would not be able to say, yes, I now am using my head and my heart equally. Like, hey, I'm balanced. This is about inner balance and outer balance. So are you both individually balanced? And if so, then do you both as individuals balance each other? It's very beautiful energy, guys. I really love it. and I think, I'm sorry, I think one of you or both of you need to have a conversation. I'm like speaking a lot more than I usually do, I think. So I have a feeling that you have some words for each other. And I hope that it can be done in a temperate, balanced manner. Weighing the head and the heart equally, guys. Okay. So before I give you advice like that, I'm going to ask Spirit if that is the advice. Spirit, what is your advice for Gemini, since you've pointed out that a future meeting, that meeting that's on the table here, is determinate upon a balance reached within both of you individually? Spirit, give Gemini some advice for this time, for this period of time that they have before this meeting. Okay. Wow. You have some things to deal with. You have some things to deal with that you haven't dealt with. 7 of Swords at the back means, let's see. Okay, sorry, I'm looking through this history. Okay, so there's some sort of, this is the block throat chakra. There's some sort of communication blockage and hiding. What have you been hiding? Well, I'm going to have to clarify this, but there was an ending and there was a passionate new beginning. I don't know if it's with your person, the person on your mind, or a third party, but what you've been hiding has to do with that. Has to do with some sort of person that you felt passionate about. Maybe it's this person and the ending. But it's kind of funny as an advice card. It's basically telling me the passion, some sort of passion that you have been hiding has come to an ending. Or Spirit is saying, end it. Like, I'm not sure, except the ending. Maybe the ending has occurred already. We're going to go a little bit deeper with my shadow light deck. That's I was introduced to by my friend Wolfman. Okay, so let's see. Spirit, can you clarify that 10 of Swords and Passion card, please, with the 7 of Swords at the back? Advice for Gemini at this time. You have Emperor, Devil, 3 of Pentacles, and Temperance. Okay, Death. Yeah, so there is definitely an ending and transformation that you have yet to fully embrace. This is an ending to something, a partnership, maybe a third-party relationship that existed, that has existed. Now, I say all of this because the Devil is here. When the Devil is here, it's talking about something you have to deal with internally. Perhaps you felt like you needed to control a situation. That 7 of Swords is also a way of controlling by withholding, by avoiding, by ghosting. It's not going to work out. The only thing that solves it is this, the Temperance. Spirit, believe that Spirit sees all the deception and avoidance. If indeed there are avoidance tendencies within you, either of you, but this is definitely for you, Gemini. I keep asking for advice for you. You need to pinpoint the reason for it. The reason for that fear of intimacy, perhaps, fear of settling down, fear of commitment. That's the word. I don't know why I said settling down. I don't really like that phrase. Commitment. So you're kind of, I think you were in a love triangle of some sort, and you were trying to control it. You were trying to control the dynamic between the three of you, but it didn't work. It never does. The devil is within you. And it has to do with your own vision of yourself. So in order to be a true emperor, you need to be able to maintain control of your kingdom, the whole region, really. And you can't do that by using fear tactics or intimidation tactics or withholding tactics. The only way you can be an emperor upright, who deserves the empress, by the way, is if you are temperate in nature and true and balanced and honest. Sorry, I'm recording this on multiple devices. So the emperor is pointing to something within you, maybe from your childhood, that you need to address at this point. If, let me just see what's at the back. Yeah, the death card, right. It has to be reborn within yourself first. This is more about you than them at this point. And I keep asking for advice for you specifically because I cannot give advice necessarily to the other party. I'm not tuning into their energy as much as I am tuning into yours and what you see and how you feel. So Gemini, wow. I hope that didn't go too deep there. Spirit, can you clarify a little bit the Emperor, Devil, and Three of Pentacles dynamic that exists within Gemini? Sorry for the pause. I needed the word. Wow. Yeah. Love it. Okay, so maybe you're dealing with a Leo. I'm not sure. I think this is within yourself. Yeah, this is within yourself. You have two Gemini cards here. Magician. I'm sorry, you have a Gemini card here. Magician behind the Strength card. There's a lack of clarity right now. There's a lack of clarity with the moon. And this is about you deliberately holding back. Strength card. This is a false sense of strength that you as a magician, that's your card, have tried to foster. You've created, I think I was saying it before in a different way, but you've created this sense of, I'm strong. But if you chip away at it a little bit, there is a lack of clarity. And the reason for the separation between the two of you, this Four of Swords, is because you both, but this is specifically now about you, need to use this time to heal something that you don't yet see. You don't yet know what it is, but it's within you. It's causing this lack of clarity, and you need to figure that out. Once you have clarity, this beautiful Ace of Swords appears, and I love how clear and simple this card is, because the truth is simple. It cuts right through that moon, right through that confusion. Okay. So sorry. Got a little bit carried away talking again. What is happening? Anyway, I hope this is helping. Please let me know in the comments, or just like, share something, interact some way so I know it's reaching somebody that needs it to hear this. Spirit, what about Gemini's person? Let's talk about your person for a moment. What is their current mental status when it comes to, current heart and mind balance when it comes to this person? Sun reversed. Okay. Clarified by... Wow. They also have... Well, first of all, excuse me. They are in the Hermit energy. They are non-communicative. They have gone within. Why? Because they too are not telling the full truth. I know this because the sun is reversed. The 7 of Swords is up. So you're kind of mirroring each other. The moon was upright for you, right? The 7 of Swords was in your spreads. They're hiding something. I think maybe they're hiding how rejected and hurt they're feeling. They're not going to tell you about it. They're not talking to you. However, they are trying with the 2 of Pentacles to keep things moving within their own life, right? They're trying to balance. My question was about balance. They're trying to balance their head and their heart at this point. This is what they're trying to balance. And in doing so, though, they're like, they're hiding the hurt. They're feeling like this guy under the tree alone. It's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate, but I think that I'm going to ask a different question. How do they feel about you at this time, Gemini? It's heavy. They are, yeah. Remember when I said that you deserve an Empress? This person may indeed be your Empress, but she is hidden right now. She's keeping herself away. This person, whether it's a he or she or non-gender, doesn't matter. It's the feminine. It's the divine feminine in the relationship, if there was a relationship dynamic. So they are, with the 9 of Swords, having a really hard time right now. They feel trapped. Their thoughts of you keep them up at night. They're trying with the Page of Pentacles to move forward. They have other projects. So at night, I really feel they can't sleep well, but in the day, they're trying to get through their creative pursuits. The Empress does indeed do that. She or he, they try to nurture themselves, and that's where that person's at. They've reached judgment, or they are reaching judgment. And this is why my voice is so hoarse, I think. I think you guys are overdue for a conversation. They're reaching, or in the process, I would say they're in the process of reaching a conclusion about your relationship here. They've gone within, they're going further within. They've gotten the Hermit, they've gotten the Empress, they've gotten the Judgment card here to decide once and for all, I think. And that's the 9 of Swords. Like, I feel like they're tired. They're tired. And I don't know what the judgment will be. I think it depends on your own growth and whether or not the universe with the Wheel of Fortune brings you together to have that conversation, to get that second chance. I'm going to get 2 more cards for you. I don't know how long this reading has been, but it feels like it's been going. Oh, I do know how long. It's almost 30 minutes. My goodness. All right. I'm just going to ask this Pop of Love deck. What's in the future for Gemini and this person that they're thinking about, their Empress? What's in the future, like beyond Mercury retrograde season? Because I see that is left up to a lot of fate. Now, trust me. So there's going to be more ghosting, more avoiding, more 7 of Swordsing. That's what it is. All right. Now, barriers must be broken between the 2 of you. Whatever pushed you guys apart needs to be talked about, and an element of forgiveness must occur. Honest forgiveness. But again, Spirit is saying, all in, excuse me, all in divine timing. Spirit, I think Spirit has taken the wheel because you guys have had the wheel multiple times and not driven it anywhere. Maybe you drove your car off a cliff or into a lake or something. Spirit's like, I got the wheel now. I got the wheel, and I'm keeping you guys apart until the lessons and all of that forgiveness and breaking barriers can occur. Wow. All right. So look, that's just what you expect within these twin flame-esque high-level soulmate connections, okay? So, Spirit, give one piece of advice for Gemini at this time. Thank you. You know, it's like sometimes I'm like, Spirit, I asked for advice, not just like, but here we go. It's an Aries, it's really hard because I want to be like, this is the advice. And then Spirit's like, no, it's just tone it down, tone it down. Destiny is at play. Follow your divine guidance. Listen to yourself. Listen to the voice within yourself. Actually, take the time to listen to the voice within yourself. I think the voice up here might override the quiet voice within. You can foster that type of voice, by the way, through deep breathing, but slow, right? As I do on myself. And meditation. Things that quiet your mind, not things that activate your mind. So not puzzles, not games, not reading, not writing. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I got one. Painting. Like paint by numbers. I do that a lot too. That does it for most people. Music. Not love songs that make you cry and think too much. Songs that honestly uplift you. So I'm a big believer in music as therapy now, and for myself, I know what it is. Classical music always did it for me. Jazz always did it for me. Like, what is it that you can listen to that doesn't make you think too much? You know, like, oh, like, what does that mean? And what does this mean? And, you know, like, I'm not talking about going on TikTok and listening to Golden. I do that all the time, by the way. I love it. I just love it. It lifts me up. But something where the music itself lifts you towards the heavens. What is it? What is it? Whether it's sound, touch, taste, whatever it is, therein lies a key for you, because this is all channeled. This is not me. Spirit is saying there's an element of destiny here. There's an element of free will always, but it's really wanting you to hear its own voice mirrored through you. Within all of us, there exists whoever you believe in, God, Allah, universe, spirit, light team, ancestors, angels, I don't know. It's time you listen. And I think that this is like judgment call. Personally, I don't believe it's over. I just think that perhaps in this lifetime, you might be running out of time for this connection, is my intuitive sense. But ultimately, all twin flames end up in union on the spiritual level, at least in some lifetimes. So all depends on what you believe in. All right, good luck. Gemini, I hope I didn't get too long-winded, but I think you of all signs will understand that. And take care. Good luck.